It's time for the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. The Mark Bless Show is brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Changes Home Care, and Avon Dental Care. Now it's time to talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. After a pair of very disappointing losses, the Avon Orioles returned to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium last Friday night under some big lights from not only a big rivalry game against the Brownsburg Bulldogs, but national attention as ESPNU was also on hand to broadcast the football game. And the Orioles, they were looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. It was a shootout to begin the game as the Avon Orioles led by only 6 points at the half, but a Bryant Fitzgerald 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown opened the floodgates to begin the second half, and the Orioles came away with a 56-21 victory over their rival, the Brownsburg Bulldogs. When we come back, I'll talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Mark Bless, about last week's game against Brownsburg, and then look ahead to this Friday night's game against the Whiteland Warriors. This is the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year. Welcome back to the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. I'm now talking with the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. Avon got some home cooking, been on the road for a couple of weeks, came back to the bright lights of Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. You came back home to those bright lights, the bright lights of a national audience, and also the bright lights of a big, big rivalry. It was an exciting week all the way through up until kickoff. How'd your team do preparing, especially coming off of 2 pretty disappointing losses?
Well, I think our players have been focused. Every time we step out on the practice field, win or lose, our guys have kept a pretty good perspective of the process of the journey. And I think, last week was very typical week of practice. Did not get sidetracked with everything going on with the ESPNU game. Not too hyped up with it being Brownsburg, although, they do get a little more excited. I think our guys are focused when we start practice, and, they're kind of out there with being on a mission.
And you came into this game last week against, the week before, I should say, against Hamilton Southeastern. You had to sit in the locker room for 2 hours waiting out a lightning delay. Last Friday, you got an hour to wait, but this time it was a little more scheduled. So everybody seemed to be a little more in sync as that game progressed, or that game got underway last Friday night.
Yeah, and Brian, it was kind of nice having that extra hour, as long as you can plan that into your schedule. I think it allowed our players to get off their feet a little bit longer from the time they get out of school until the time we report back. We were not rushed. We're able to do our defensive walkthroughs and offensive top 20. And I think our players just handled everything so well. But I was very impressed with the way we came out to start that game.
Of course, once the game got started, the first half seemed to be what I think a lot of us expected. It ended up in being a bit of a shootout before the Orioles come out in the second half. They get the kickoff return for a touchdown, and what was a 6-point halftime lead turns into a 56-21 blowout, really, of Brownsburg. But the first half, I think it was what a lot of people expected. Two very talented quarterbacks, Brandon Peters and Hunter Johnson, both teams getting big plays. But Brandon really shined on the night. 6 touchdowns on the night, and eventually was 19 to 25 for over 340 yards, and just was really in sync from the get-go, right at the beginning with that 81-yard touchdown pass, or that 15-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Peters.
Well, no doubt it was, very competitive the first half, and that's kind of what we expected. I thought offense, we were clicking. Brandon definitely was able to check in and out of plays very comfortably, made some good reads, some good judgments, and, he always throws the ball pretty well. When they scored to answer back and we went back and forth, I thought, it could possibly be crucial or miss on the extra point after one of the second or third touchdowns. And I thought, should we chase those points now or just, kick it the next time we score? And, I think we were fortunate we kicked it the next time we scored. And, it wasn't a deciding factor of the game by that missed extra point. But in a game where it's going back and forth, you certainly have a lot of thoughts going through your mind. I thought we played well defensively again until, we had a couple of breakdowns, whether it be a coverage or just, a good play on their part. Because, some of their balls were definitely on target early. I thought Ian was in very good coverage on their first touchdown on a fade route. And, sometimes the opposite team just makes plays. And I think that was, the case early on. Now, when Toke started running, I thought that we didn't do a very good job of anchoring the inside. I think one time we had both our nose and linebacker go to the same gap, which left a pretty big seam for him to shoot through. But even so, I thought we should have been able to make a tackle downfield in the secondary, and we failed to do that. But certainly he's a very strong runner. But the first half going back and forth, and then right at the end of the half we had an opportunity to score, and Andrew made a nice catch and then somehow lost the ball, and their corner made a nice play to come up with it. But I thought, we should have been able to tack on another score there right before the half as well.
Orioles are up by 6 at the break. You come out second half, you're getting the football, and then a player that really had a couple of really, really big plays. He got two touchdowns, one on the 75-yard kickoff return for the touchdown to begin the second half, and then the final score of the game, the 45-yard interception return for a touchdown. Brian Fitzgerald is a player that's getting a lot of looks from on a night where a lot of Division I talent was on the field. Bryant's one that's also getting a lot of looks, and he really shined on Friday night as well.
Oh, certainly did. We wanted to get a quick strike to start the second half and try to put a little bit of doubt in their mind. But I was very pleased that we were able to return that opening kickoff, and I think Fitz did a nice job of coming up, fielding the ball, and then getting north and south. He is a special player, and it was good to see him make some plays like that. I think their next possession after we scored, I think Chad Carmichael got an interception and, set us up. Great field position for a little bit of a flea flicker, if you will, and I thought that it was very well executed and good to get another quick strike. I'm just real happy with the way our guys came out after the halftime.
You don't normally have a whole lot of what I would call gadget plays. You mentioned the double reverse that ended up with the ball back in Brandon's hands. He hits Harrison Weber for a 38-yard touchdown pass. You get the 2-point conversion off of the Fitzgerald kickoff return, a play in which you were set up for a conventional point after. We saw Andrew Griffin against Hamilton Southeastern have to score on a 2-point conversion. That was due to a low snap. This was a pretty well-designed fake on the extra point with a nice seal block from Matt Moore.
Well, and it was not planned. After our quick score, unfortunately for Brownsburg, they only had 7 guys on the field. And Andrew is a very headsy, very smart player, and he saw that we had him outnumbered, and he just called fire on his own. So very good heads-up play by, a very good football player for us. I would like to take credit for that, but that was all Andrew. He saw it, and he made the call and knew that we needed to make up a point. So it was very well executed by his part.
All right, you get back to 2-2 on the season. You're now 1-1 in conference play. And when we come back, we'll talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Mark Bless, about this week's opponent, the Whiteland Warriors. This is the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com. Welcome back to the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online as we continue our conversation with the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. Coach, of course, last year we had the change in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference down to 7 teams. That means each week one team's got a non-conference game. This is your week, and you will welcome the Whiteland Warriors to Hendricks Regional House Stadium. You played Whiteland last year at Whiteland. Whiteland, a traditional 5A power. Many people will look at them each and every year as one of the leaders as far as taking home a mid-state conference championship. But last year you went to Whiteland, came away with a big win. This year they come to Hendricks Regional House Stadium, and the team really hasn't changed all that much. They might have a few little different pieces here and there, but they're going to be the same Whiteland Warrior team. They're going to run that jet sweep, and they're going to run the ball and force you to go sideline to sideline.
Well, that's right. That's right. You know, first of all, about Whiteland, they are a very solid football program. You know, he doesn't just have Coach Fisher does a great job. He doesn't just have a good team every now and then. They're solid all the time. I believe the last 2 years they played in the regional championship against Cathedral. So, you know, we knew what we were getting when we had Whiteland put on the schedule, and, you know, a very disciplined team, and that's why they're so effective running the jet sweep. It is because they do what they have to do, and if you don't play discipline, they can slice you up with the jet offense. So certainly they have a lot of speed and good size on the field. You know, a little bit for our players to rally behind. It will be our homecoming game, and our student body really gets excited about that. We remind our players all the time, our job is to feed off the energy of the student body, but our job comes down to winning the homecoming game. So I think it helps keeps our players focused.
You're going to, again, you faced this jet sweep last year. We saw how well you handled it, not only with your front line, but your linebackers. You're going to have the same challenge this week. One of the players I thought they played exceptionally well against Brownsburg was Zach Batustik. You got him in there late, and your linebackers, especially against Brownsburg, played exceptionally well. They're going to be asked to do the same thing this week.
Well, yes, you know, probably led by Matt Thompson and Brody Good. We rotate both Levi Hawk and Zach Patustak at the Mike linebacker, and they both give us something a little bit different. But we like them both being able to rotate, to be able to communicate and keep bodies fresh. But our linebackers have to make sure we're disciplined to stop the inside and help on the outside with the jet. I think it's crucial that we get a good push with our defensive line up front, and that our secondary doesn't go to sleep and forget about their play action pass, because that's when they strike quick on you.
It looks like Whiteland, they do have a tendency to get after the quarterback, try to get into the defensive backfield, and a lot of times you've been successful doing that with a good running attack. Corey DePriest, Darian Love, I think, started last week, but then DePriest came in. He ran the ball very well. What should we see as we start this week off?
Well, we kind of felt like that we left a little bit on the field in the run game last week, but certainly we're able to pass the ball. I think our linemen up front need to finish blocks. As far as both backs, we need to hit the hole and be able to use our vision to create plays. If our linemen's wrong, our running backs have to make them right. So I think we would like to concentrate and get a little stronger in the run game. But we give Brandon some authority out there to check out of bad looks, bad plays, and he's done that very well.
Special teams last week, really the only issue you could really say was the blocked extra point attempt. But other than that, you got the great kickoff return for a touchdown by Bryant. How would you feel about your special teams last week?
Well, I think we're starting to play better. I think they're helping us win games instead of the opposite end, which earlier in the year I think haunted us, especially Ben Davis. I think we've secured a couple spots in the return games, both punt and kick return. I think our kickoff team is covering the ball much better. And, the block PAT probably was due to a bad snap. So there's a few areas we still need to concentrate on, and every week get a little bit better in special teams. But we need to go into games thinking that they're going to help us win, not get us beat.
You seem to come out of the Brownsburg game pretty healthy. How are we looking this week?
We did. I think we're fortunate. We're definitely getting a backup linebacker, defensive lineman back. Seth Lewis, he got a little dinged up with concussion in the HSE game. And then Gunnar Larson is close to returning for us. Probably will be out this week, but should be good to go for the Fishers game.
All right, it is homecoming week as the Avon Orioles welcome the Whiteland Warriors to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. We'll have the pregame at 6:30 on Audio Sports Online. Also, it is the Hendricks game night in Hendricks County, featured game of the week on xrbradio.com. Again, pregame at 6:30, and then Coach Dave Shelbourne and I will have the kickoff at 7 o'clock. Coach, good luck this week against Whiteland.
Thank you, Brian, and thanks for all you do.
You've been listening to the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. Tonight's show has been brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Changes Home Care, and Avon Dental Care. Tune in next week when we once again talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. The Mark Bless Show is an AudioSportsOnline.com production.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Westside Plumbing would like to announce that Brian Payne is now a part of the team for all of your heating and air conditioning needs. Westside Plumbing now offers residential heating and air conditioning maintenance, repair, and replacement. To show their appreciation, Westside Plumbing is now offering a professional heating system tune-up and cleaning for the introductory price of just $69. Tell them you heard it from XRB. To schedule an appointment, just call 317-445-8399. That's 317-445-8399. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Westside Plumbing. Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. Stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy.
If you're a business owner with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech. Running out of space? Tired of the clutter, but don't want to part with your possessions? We have a solution for that at Northfield Self Storage in Brownsburg. Whether you need a little extra storage or a larger space, our storage units ranging from 5x10 to 10x30 will surely take care of your needs. We also carry packing supplies such as boxes, tape, bubble wrap, and a whole lot more. Come see Northfield Self Storage and U-Haul at 1530 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg, open 7 days a week.
It's time for game night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Tonight's game is brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Avon Dental Center, Changes Home Care, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Westside Plumbing, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Blue River Pharmacy, Northfield Storage, Ivy Tech, and the Payroll Department. Game night in Hendricks County is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Welcome to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium at Avon High School, I should say, for game night in Hendricks County. Our feature game of the week tonight has the Avon Orioles home for homecoming, ranked 11th in Class 6A, welcoming a traditional 5A power, the 6th-ranked Whiteland Warriors. And we have it for you tonight on game night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Scott. I will be joined very shortly by the Indiana Football Hall of Famer, Dave Shelbourne. The Avon Orioles got past a couple of disappointing losses by playing at home last week, been on the road the previous 2 weeks, and they were playing their longtime rival, the Brownsburg Bulldogs, in a game that was pretty much seen nationally on ESPN as a couple of Division I blue-chip recruits and Avon's Brandon Peters and Brownsburg's Hunter Johnson took the stage on a big night with a lot of talent on the field. It was a close game for the first half, with the Orioles heading to the locker room with a 6-point lead. But at the start of the second half, the Orioles took the opening kickoff as Brian Fitzgerald rumbled 75 yards for a kickoff return for a touchdown. That really started the floodgates. The Bulldogs would get the ball, and then pretty much their first play from scrimmage, they fumbled the ball away. 2 plays later, Avon scored, and quickly what had been a 14-point lead became a 21-point lead, and Avon would outscore Brownsburg 29-0 in the second half to win, going away by the score of 56-21. It was a great night for Brandon Peters, the senior quarterback committed to the University of Michigan, threw for 6 touchdowns, over 340 yards. And while the Orioles had a few problems turning the ball over in the first half, in the second half they played almost flawlessly, really pressuring Brownsburg all night long, getting a couple of turnovers against junior quarterback Hunter Johnson, and playing very, very well in that second half. Now they'll see if they can carry that momentum over to tonight's game. It is homecoming night here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, and I bring in the head coach, Dave Shelbourne. Coach, it was a great night last Friday night, especially that second half, and it was just one of those things that after they got the kickoff return for a touchdown, the momentum just started rolling, and before Brownsburg knew what happened, they were down 21 points and just were never in it.
Well, we certainly stepped up in that third quarter. That third quarter was nearly a flawless quarter for Avon offensively and defensively and special teams. And the first half kind of went the way we expected. We expected some high-powered offense and, some explosiveness. Their running back certainly hit the home run with the long run, and he's a big-time player. Everybody knew coming in that the quarterbacks were going to be the special people in the game. I was very impressed with Brownsburg earlier, the way they were running the football on Avon, and they kind of dominated play up front. And in the second half, the Avon defensive inside six just really kind of totally shut them down. So it was a fun game to watch. It was an entertaining game to watch. Anytime you put up almost 100 points, with two teams, and you've got the rivalry that exists, between Avon and Brownsburg, I think it was a great night for fans in general, and certainly turned out to be a really outstanding night for the Avon fans because, like you mentioned, after two really, really tough losses against two outstanding teams, they came back and had to battle, and they did battle, and they did hang in there mentally and physically to really beat a very, very tough Brownsburg football team.
Brandon Peters, 6 touchdowns in last week's game, and on the season now through 4 games, Brandon has thrown for over 1,150 yards, 16 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions on the season, and he's averaging over 888 yards per game. You throw out that Hamilton Southeastern game, which was kind of an aberration for Peters and really the entire Oriole offense that night, his stats would look even better.
And but really, both those interceptions were, not so much that he threw into coverage. He got hit and the ball just popped up in the air. So
yeah, he's thrown and played exactly like we thought Brandon Peters, and his coaches said already this season, Brandon has matured every year, and this year he has really been a quarterback, pure and simple, and we saw that Friday night. Tonight, the Orioles, they have the non-conference game in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference schedule, and they're going to welcome a team that they saw last year in the Whiteland Warriors. Whiteland is a perennial 5A power, always a very, very tough team in the Mid-State Conference. They are head coached by Darren Fisher, who is in his 11th year at the school with a very, very respectable 77-43 record. Whiteland averages over 37 points per game. They've always had a pretty good defense as well, averaging just under 18 points given up per game. Whiteland is not going to fool anybody with what they do. As those of you that might have saw the game last year that Avon played at Whiteland, Whiteland runs what is called the jet sweep. They run it very well, and it will really test this Avon defense, where the first few games we've seen Avon have problems, mainly in the secondary. This might seem more of a matchup where Whiteland is really going to be running into the teeth of the Avon defense. That's really that front line and their good linebackers.
Well, we're seeing a lot of spread now. Everybody in the high school level likes to copy what's going on at the pro and college level. And Darren has his system. He's been running this for years. There's a couple of teams at the college level that run it. And, he goes out and studies them. His system is in place. His kids understand it. His kids believe it. Kind of similar to the wing T setup that they have at Center Grove. This is their offense. If you see this offense, everybody will right away say that's what Whiteland's doing, and they're very good at it. You can win with any system, but it's not so much the plays they call, but the way they execute it. Darren is an outstanding and very well-respected coach in the state of Indiana. And I'd say the really biggest difference between maybe his team and some of the 6A teams are just that the number of really outstanding athletes. The coaching is outstanding. The program is certainly in place. I think it's just at schools like, Avon and Ben Davis and Warren and some of the bigger schools just have a few more quality athletes. But They played Center Grove right down to the wire last year. They're 3-1 and ranked in the top 10 this year. And, I can guarantee you they're going to come in very well prepared, for Avon out here tonight.
Whiteland comes in averaging over 273 yards on the ground per game. Their quarterback is a senior. He does have some experience in Jace Carpenter. However, you won't see him throw the ball all that often. He has only thrown on average for 63 yards per game. What Whiteland likes to do, they like to get that lead early and then control the football. Last year, where Whiteland really found out having problems is when they got behind Avon and were forced to get out of that jet sweep and start throwing the ball. And then they had a lot of problems against the Orioles defense, who started to win that game going away, as Avon won that game last year by the score of 38-12. Their leading running back is Brandon Peterson. He's averaging 77 yards per game. But when you take a look at some of their other talented backs like Anthony Shantz and Shaw Cloud and Chris Richardson, they have a whole lot of players that will run the ball. They will run it very, very often. And for Coach Fisher, he hopes that his quarterback doesn't have to throw a whole lot. They'll try to throw the ball to keep things honest. This defense, however, that has been a little bit better than it has been the past few years. We'll see how they react to Brandon Peters tonight. Let's take a look at the particulars for tonight's game. The Whiteland Warriors are ranked 6th in Class 5A with a record of 3-1. Darren Fisher is the head coach. I just mentioned he has a record of 77-43 in his 11th year at Whiteland and 138 and 115 in his 25th year overall. The head coach of the Orioles is Mark Bless. He is 42-20 in his 6th year at Avon, 191-87 in his 26th year overall. After 2 disappointing losses, the win last week evened up the Orioles' record to 2-2, and they moved up a spot in the Class 6A rankings. They are now ranked 11th. These two teams have met over the last 30 years 13 times. It's been pretty much all Avon 11-2, including the 38-12 win last year at Whiteland. Now Whiteland here at Avon for tonight's game. The Warriors are in the white jerseys, the blue pants, the orange trim, and the kind of blue and orange numbers. And Avon is in the white pants, the black jerseys, in the camo numbers. What we're going to tell you right now, it is hard to see both teams' numbers from where we are, so bear with us. The Avon numbers being the camo numbers can be very, very difficult to read. Samperino's getting ready to kick this ball away. Jimon Ogega and Brandon Patterson back deep for the Warriors as we get set for football here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Perino kicks it off, and it'll be fielded and taken into the end zone by Brandon Patterson, and the Warriors will start this game 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Beginning of the game is always interesting to me because you kind of get a feel for, how teams are going to attack. They plan. Most teams come in with what we call a script, where they write down their first, 8, 10, 12 plays and the formations they want to see because they want to get a feel for how the other team is going to defend them. So it'll be interesting to see what we come out of the box with here for Whiteland.
The pitch is around the left-hand side and getting about 5 yards on the play on the pitch. That will be Anthony Shantz, the running back. Let's give you the Whiteland Warrior offense. Across the offensive line, it is Tyler Johnson, Austin Bates, Jake Sayer, Garrett Crothers, and Tarnjit Singh. The flankers are Chris Richardson and Luke Bates, and the tight ends Dalton Lowry. The running backs are Anthony Shantz and Brandon Patterson, and the quarterback is Jace Carpenter. Second down and 5. Here's the give. And coming in and making a tackle, that is Brian Fitzgerald, who just absolutely leveled Brandon Patterson. Patterson might pick up a yard, but he's going to feel that one for a couple of days.
Yeah, they better find somebody to block him. I mean, they didn't even account for him on that play, and he just came flying up out of the secondary. And not only did he make the tackle, but he made one of those hits that everybody in the stands certainly noticed.
So 3rd down already for the Warriors, 3rd down and 4. From their own 26-yard line, opening drive of the football game. They will bring a man in motion. They will send Carpenter out. He'll throw it to the left side. Pass incomplete. Looking for Anthony Shantz. It goes incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's a good first series for Avon. You want to start the game with the 3 and out. Whiteland came out here and tried to establish the run a little bit, and they really weren't able to do it. And, this is early in the game. It's, kind of a little testing game here. Let's see what we can get away with. Let's see what we can do. And let's see how they're going to adjust to, some of the formations and motions and things that we do here.
Jacob Balin is the punter for Whiteland. Back deep for the Orioles is Matt Moore and Bryant Fitzgerald. Moore playing his second game at punt return. Balin gets it off, almost gets it blocked. It's a high kick, not very far, but it'll take a Whiteland bounce. And he's going to get a nice roll out of this and get another 25 yards or so before it's finally down at about the 27-yard line. Avon almost got the block, but the Warriors get a nice roll, and Brandon Peters will bring the Orioles offense out for their first series.
Yeah, almost got the block, and he was the only one rushing. I mean, it was really a good pressure by a one-man rush. Be really interesting to me to see how Whiteland defends. Whiteland plays a 4-4 with a 3-deep secondary. They're a zone team. They stay back. It'll be interesting to see what they try to do to disrupt the timing of the pass offense from Avon.
Corey DePriest is the tailback to start this game as Peters works out of the gun. He will swing it over the right side. Pass is complete. And Matt Moore will drag a few Whiteland Warriors with him up to about the 35-yard line for a pickup of 8 yards on the first play, and it'll bring up second down and short for the Orioles.
Well, they're already, just looking out there, they're already in a 3-man front, so they're playing a 3-5-3, so at least on the first play, they decided not to rush that fourth man and to drop him into coverage and see if they can, just cover up the intermediate zones there a little bit and try to disrupt the timing of the Avon pass offense.
Second down, along 1, maybe 2 yards for the Orioles on their first drive of the game. Corey DePriest with the ball finds a hole, and he'll get a very hard-earned yard and a half, but it'll be enough for an Oriole first down. With 10-12 left to go in this first quarter of a scoreless game. Whiteland 3 and out on their opening drive. Now it's the Orioles' turn.
Well, the numbers kind of dictate your game plan here a little bit. Avon, I'm sure, would like to come out and, and throw the football, but at the same time, Coach Moore and his staff are smart enough to know with a 3-man front and 8 people in coverage that, the odds of running the football are a little bit better than trying to throw into an 8-man coverage set.
That is Andrew Griffin to the near side of the field on this 1st and 10 from the Oriole 38-yard line. Peters back to pass. He fires deep. He's looking for Andrew Griffin. Got Andrew, and Andrew will take it in for the touchdown. A 62-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Peters to Andrew Griffin. And the Orioles strike first with 9:39 left to go in the opening quarter.
I'm just amazed every week. He does that every week. He's been doing it for the last 3 years. And teams come out and still for some reason don't respect his speed. I'm just amazed. It's almost like they don't watch the tape or they don't know what's going on. It seems like every game that we've covered in the last 3 years, he's had a long touchdown pass in the first quarter of the game.
Sam Perino on to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:39 left to go, opening quarter. Orioles lead the Warriors 7-0. Back with a kickoff in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Brandon Peters finds Andrew Griffin running down the near sideline, drops it right in the breadbasket, and Peters takes it the rest of the way for a 62-yard touchdown pass completion for the touchdown. Sam Perino's point after is good, and the Orioles lead 7-0. It was interesting in talking to head coach Mark Bless after last week. We saw the Orioles get that 2-point conversion. We thought that maybe Coach Bless had called that to try to get the at the time the game was close and get the 2 touchdowns. He said, no, that was all Andrew Griffin. If you heard in the press in the pregame, he said Andrew saw that Brownsburg had not enough men on the field, and he called it himself in a very heady play. Griffin gets the touchdown reception, and Perino once again kicks this one into the end zone. So Griffin, a very smart football player as well. He's had 2 two-point conversion made in the past 2 weeks. And as Coach Bless said last week, that was all Andrew Griffin's call on that 2-point conversion. And that at the time, with the score being as what it was, that could have been really critical. In the end, it didn't really matter as the Orioles ran away from the Bulldogs. And now the Orioles have a 7-0 lead, and the Warriors, who found themselves 3 and out on their opening drive, now head back on offense, trailing by 7.
And as you mentioned, they are not a come from behind offense. You know, their whole thing is to try to get up, run the football, take time off the clock. But if they're going to try and trade touchdowns with Avon here tonight, you know, it could be a long night for Whiteland.
Well, Whiteland's not. They're going in the wrong direction because C.J. Hunt met quarterback Jace Carpenter in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss on the first play of the drive, and already the Warriors will find themselves down in 2nd and long territory.
Yeah, right now Avon's front is playing pretty well. They're getting some penetration. Avon, I think, you know, just kind of looking at the first series out here tonight, appears to have a little bit better overall team speed defensively than what Whiteland has offensively. And, you know, Whiteland will move the football, but their game is not to play from behind.
Luke Bateson is the lone wideout. They'll bring a man in motion. They'll run that jet sweep, getting the ball and turning it upfield and getting a nice gain to about the 27, 28-yard line is Brandon Patterson, a 5'10", 174-pound senior. And he will gain about 13 yards up to the 29-yard line to set up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, really pretty well defended. Just a really nice read by the running back. Avon had some people up and contained, turned the play back inside. The inside linebackers who are supposed to be trailing got caught up in the wash, as we say. You know, too many people in there, and he made a nice cut and turned it into a very nice gain.
Patterson, the ball carrier, looks for some room on the left side. Will not find any room as the Orioles had stacked up that side of the line of scrimmage and didn't allow a hole to open up for Whiteland. And now they're going to find themselves in 4th down and short. And Coach Fisher pretty much needs, he's going to decide to leave this offense down. So a big decision already here early in the first quarter. With the Warriors down by 7, they're going to go for it 4th and 1 deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and, you know, traditionally coaches will run between the tackles here, but I think if Whiteland really wants to attack Avon, they're going to have a tough time doing it between the tackles. If they're going to do anything, it probably needs to be outside.
This is Patterson, the ball carrier. He goes around the left side, and he's going to not even be close. He's going to be brought down in a big decision here early in the first quarter as Coach Fisher elects to go for it on 4th and 1, and the Avon defense comes through. Then the Warriors will turn it over on downs on their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, well, I won't say panic is setting in over on the Whiteland side, but I know already after 2 series, Coach Fisher's got to be over there kind of refiguring his game plan. You know, they've been out here 2 series. They have not been able to move the football on the ground, and you know, if they're not careful, they're going to be behind 2 touchdowns here early, so they're going to have to kind of revamp their offensive philosophy here in a hurry.
Orioles go 4 wide, but they give the ball to DePriest right up the middle, makes one man miss, you know, take it down to about the 24-yard line to pick up a 5 yards for Corey DePriest.
Well, the deep threat, I've always been a proponent, like I've mentioned and kind of joked about it here a little bit. I think Coach Moore and I, maybe because we're both former quarterbacks, think along the same lines a lot of times, but I like the way he seems to want to go deep early, because I think that spreads the defense out a little bit, whether you complete it or not. It'll give you a little bit more room to run the football and also to throw underneath. So going deep early is something I've always believed in.
2nd down and 5. They give us DePriest. He'll take it right up the middle to the 20, breaks it out the side, 15 to the 10, and he will have a penalty flag thrown in late as DePriest takes it inside the 10. This looks like it'll probably go against Avon, but it might still be enough for a 1st down. Let's see where they mark it. Now illegal use of hands will be the call. So wipe out a good run by Corey DePriest, and it'll make it 2nd down. The spot will take it back to the 19-yard line, and it's still enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, I think they called our wide receiver for blocking in the back.
So even though the Orioles get hit with a penalty that cost them 10 yards, it's still enough after they spot the ball for a first down. So Avon will have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line as Corey DePriest with a couple of nice runs. Corey's been averaging about 69 yards per game this season and about 5 yards per carry, as the junior tailback has pretty much become the number one starter for Coach Bless this season. DePriest with the carry. He'll take it right up the middle, and he's going to be brought down quickly, as coming in to make the tackle was Brandon Perry, a 5'11", 246-pound senior tackle. Still a gain of about maybe a yard for Corey. Call it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and again, at this point, it's that chess game and a numbers game. Whiteland has come out here, for the most part, been in a 3-man front, basically just daring them to run and trying to let them know that they're going to try and make it as tough as they can to throw the football, and they're still in it. They haven't changed anything yet.
Andrew Griffin with one-on-one coverage down the near side of the formation. 2nd down and 9 for the Orioles. Brandon Peters fires to Griffin this time. One of the rare times you're going to see Peters miss on that, as Andrew Griffin ran the little slant, but the ball's thrown behind him to bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they brought 6 that time, so it was going to have to be a quick throw, and it's one of those, again, you certainly like to complete it, but the read was good. Brandon saw it coming, Andrew saw it coming. They shortened up the route. They just didn't get the timing, but if they continue to come like that, they're going to click with that sooner or later.
3rd down and 9 for Avon as we hit the 6-minute mark left to go in the opening quarter. Orioles with a 7-0 lead. Peters with 3 wideouts. Griffin to the near side. Brandon back to pass, fires over the middle, looking for Andrew Griffin, and here comes the flag. Griffin went high to get the football, and the defender came in behind him, basically grabbing him from behind. And it was Cole Warwick, the defensive back, that came in and grabbed Andrew Griffin, and what would have forced a 4th down, because the pass was definitely high,
right,
is going to end up giving, well, it'll be half the distance to the goal, so this may not be this 1st down. When they mark it, it will be about a yard short. Again, they changed that rule last year. It is defensive pass here. Well, I guess they did say that it was beyond the yard to gain mark. I thought it was going to be a little short, but they say it did make the yard to gain, so it'll be 1st down. So 1st and goal, Avon at the 9. As they'll say that the penalty will give Avon just enough to get the 1st down. 5:56 left to go opening quarter. Orioles with a 7-0 lead. They bring the formation a little tighter right now as Brandon back to pass, throws left side, has Andrew Griffin, and Griffin reaches the football over the goal line, and the Orioles strike again, this time from 9 yards out, and it's 13-0 Avon.
Well, that must be unstoppable, because that combination has worked for the last 3 years. I mean, we get down here close. They're trying to play him man for man. I mean, again, that's that back shoulder throw that I've talked about a couple other times in a couple other games. I mean, he really, if you're sitting in the stands and you don't know, it looks like it's a bad pass because it's behind him, and really he's doing that to keep it away from the defender. And, here's Avon on the first 2 drives, and they've easily moved the football down the field. And as we mentioned the last time Whiteland had the ball, they're going to have to kind of change their philosophy. Now they're down 2 scores.
Well, Whiteland went for it on 4th and 1 deep in their own territory. The Oriole defense holds, and the Oriole offense makes them pay with a 9-yard touchdown pass. 5:53 left to go, opening quarter. Orioles up 14-0. Back with the kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
Along with Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. The Orioles have had 2 drives. They've had 2 touchdowns, and we still have 5 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. and the Orioles have a 14-0 lead over the Whiteland Warriors. It was a bit of a gamble by head coach Darren Fisher to go for it on 4th and goal deep in his own territory. As coach said, maybe trying to get something going, but the Oriole defense, they stood firm. The Oriole offense capitalized and cashed in on it, and now Avon's got a 2-touchdown lead. And, Coach, as we said last year, Whiteland likes to play with the lead so they can really run the ball and control the clock. Coming from behind is not their strength.
No, it's if they're not careful, it's going to be a long night.
Here's Carpenter, and that's kind of what we saw last year. Not asked to throw all that often. They had really one man out in the coverage. That was Will Prine, and he was covered by 2 Oriole defenders.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of time left. It's not like they have to get out of their game plan. I think the problem is, even just after the first 2 series, I think they realize that they're going to have a tough time running the football like they normally do against some of the 5A teams. They're having a little bit tougher time running against that Avon front tonight.
Here's an inside or a give around the outside, and running the football is Chris Richardson, a 5'9", 155-pound senior. He runs it around the left side. He will pick up maybe 6 yards up to the 26-yard line, but once again, here's Whiteland with a 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one thing to struggle to score. Right now, unless I'm wrong, I don't think they've got a first down. They've been 3-and-out punt, and then they went for it on 4, so they were 4-and-out and punt, and here they are now faced with another 3rd and long, and they may be punting again here real soon.
They'll bring a man in motion. Here's the give coming around the near side with the football and not getting enough of the first down, as it is Chris Richardson once again. He'll find a little room on the right side, and here's Darren Fisher once again. It's 4th down and 1. The ball on the exact same yard line as it was the last time, and once again, Coach Fisher is going to leave the offense on the field.
Well, it could get interesting here real early. I mean, if they don't make it, they're giving Avon the football again inside the 30-yard line. They haven't been stopped yet. They've, thrown the ball and run the ball at will. So, an interesting call.
They'll bring Richardson in motion. Here is a busted play, and this was a nightmare, and it's been a nightmare for the Whiteland offense already this game. On 4th and 1, the offense totally discombobulated. Looked like Carpenter was expecting to hand that ball off to Richardson. Either that or he's trying to get a fake, but neither of the other 2 running backs were ready for the handoff.
Well, right now, Coach Bomby's, philosophy is, let them motion and run and fake and do whatever they want to do. They're basically just playing good, solid, fundamental football. Control your gap, find a football and run to the football. Don't give up any big plays. They've given up a couple of 4- and 5-yarders, but nothing big. And, right now their defense is just dominating the game.
So for the 2nd consecutive series, Whiteland turns it over on downs. Here's Darian Love rumbling right up the middle. And Darian will take it right down to the 5-yard line on a pickup of about 24 yards.
Well, I've done this a lot of years, and I can read body language pretty well, and I can tell you the body language in the first quarter already on the Whiteland sidelines for the Whiteland coaching staff and in the Whiteland stands is this is not going to be our night.
Darian Love, he pretty much came into his own last year against Whiteland. He had one of his best games of the year against these Warriors, and he has a big gainer on the first play. He'll get the ball again. He'll run it up the middle. He'll still keep his legs churning, and he'll take it down to about the 2 on a gain of 3.
Yeah, a little trap play that time. They've been running a lot of inside zone, which is just kind of straight ahead blocking, and when they get people running to the front side, the little trap play with the guard kicking out is a good counter play. Whiteland played it pretty well, but we're still down here 2nd and 2 from the 2-yard line, and Avon, within the first 9 minutes of the game is getting ready to go up 3 touchdowns.
3:26 left to go first quarter. Orioles with a 14-0 lead. Ball just inside the 3 on this 2nd and goal play. Darian Love is to the left of Peters. He'll get the ball again. He'll take it up the middle, and he'll take it into the end zone. Officially a 2-yard run for Darian Love as he barrels into the end zone, and it is spiraling out of control quickly for the Whiteland Warriors, because with 3:13 left to go in the first quarter, they're down 20-0, about to go down 3 touchdowns pending the extra point.
And as you mentioned, I mean, this is a top-level 5A football team. I mean, they're ranked 6th in the state. They're well coached. You know, they beat up on some of the 5A teams. They played Center Grove very well. So, you know, I think, one, it tells you the difference here a little bit with the level of play, but also the way Avon is playing here tonight.
3:13 left to go in the opening quarter. Avon already out in front, 21-0. Back with the kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRPRadio.com and ASO.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Darian Love runs it in from 2 yards out. And with 3:13 left to go in the opening quarter, it is all Avon, 21-0. As Darren Fisher, he has tried a couple of fourth down and ones from his own 29. He has failed on both conversions, and the Orioles have capitalized both times to have a 3-touchdown lead with still 3 minutes left. Perino will kick this one off. His third kickoff will be fielded in the end zone and brought out to the 10, to the 15. This is Patterson, and Patterson will not even make it to the 20-yard line, as he will be stopped shy of about the 17-yard line. And once again, the Whiteland offense is out on the field, this time with even worse field position than they've had the previous 2 drives. And they will have it 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line, trailing 21-0 here in the first quarter. So the offense back out onto the field for head coach Darren Fisher, and now it's, what do you do? They have yet to convert a first down.
They have to find something to hang their hat on, you know.
And that's not going to do it, because getting met in the backfield is Anthony Shantz, and he's going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Avon's down 3 right now, are just dominating. I mean, they haven't been blocked. They're getting all kinds of penetration. You know, they don't sit and play straight a lot. You know, they've got them moving and slanting and looping, and they'll blitz a linebacker every now and then. And, you know, you've really got to offensively come off the ball to kind of counter that action. And right now, Whiteland's offensive linemen just aren't up to the task.
Bring Patterson in motion. Carpenter back to pass. Fires over the middle. Almost intercepted. Brian Fitzgerald was there, the intended receiver.
Pendleton.
And Ian Pendleton was also in there. I believe the intended receiver for Whiteland was Chris Richardson. But it's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Whiteland. They haven't been able to run the ball. Their 2 pass attempts have both been incomplete and well covered. And now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Warriors.
Yeah, this is one of those nights where I'm sure Coach Fisher is over there asking for help, and he's probably not getting much.
It'll bring up 3rd and 12. Ball's at the 15-yard line. Bringing Patterson in motion. The give is up the middle, and breaking through and picking up some nice yardage is Anthony Shantz. He's going to be well short of the first down, however, as he'll spot the ball at about the 28-yard line. And this time with 4th and about 5, Coach Fisher will send the punt team out.
Yeah, after the first couple of series, I was wondering if maybe his punter had gotten suspended or was sick or broke his leg. You know, they had a couple of situations where they could have punted. So, you know, here they are. And, you know, actually the one punt he did have must have been a 50, 60-yarder, so we know their punter does have a great leg.
Well, it was a high short kick. He got a great roll. This one, not the greatest. Matt Moore will signal for the fair catch. And Matt Moore, I think with his first punt reception of the season, calls it for a fair catch at the 47-yard line. And the Orioles, that is where they are going to start this drive with 1:42 left in this opening quarter, leading by 3 touchdowns over the 6th ranked in Class 5A Whiteland Warriors. This is a very good Whiteland team.
3-1.
That's a very good Whiteland team. They have been year in and year out one of the best teams. Of course, their one loss so far this year was a drubbing at the hands of Center Grove. As the Orioles start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 47. Peters hands the ball off. This is spinning and making it. This is Brian Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald is gone. A 53-yard touchdown run, Brian Fitzgerald. And boy, I don't know what you can do if you're on that other sideline right now, but look over to your left and look at the scoreboard, and it has 27 points on it for the Orioles, and 1:29 still left to go in the first quarter.
You know, it's an unfortunate set of circumstances for Whiteland and Coach Fisher and the staff, because they are a good football team. Right now they're just running into a team in the Avon Orioles that's just clicking on all cylinders and doing well. You know, as soon as I say that.
Here is Griffin. He gets it to Matt Moore. Moore will turn it up. It was a high snap, and Griffin did the best of what he could. This time they can't convert the two, but still 1:29 left to go, opening quarter. Orioles up 27-0, back with a kick. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech.
A 53-yard touchdown run by Brian Fitzgerald. The point after a high snap, that leads to a failed two-point conversion. But with 1:29 left, the Orioles up 27-0 alongside the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. There's not much, but that really just that two-point convert or that extra point try has really been the only thing that the Orioles have not been able to do well tonight. Offense and defense, they have been outstanding, and the Orioles getting ready to kick this football away yet again, as Sam Perino's leg must be getting tired in this first quarter, but not by that kick, as he sends it into the end zone. And Whiteland looking for a first down. They have yet to get a first down now in 4 drives, and they'll start this one 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. So 1:29 left to go, first quarter, 27-0 Avon.
A lot of people running to the concession stand in the bathroom already. Not even waiting till halftime.
It is homecoming night here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. If this was college, where you expect a lot of college teams to schedule a little down for their homecoming, not Avon. They picked what is normally a very, very good team. Here's the handoff, and Patterson will run right up the middle. He'll run right into an Oriole, and it's Shantz, the ball carrier, maybe a gain of 1 or 2. And, Coach, we kind of said before the game, Avon, for the previous 4 weeks, if they've been beaten, it's been deep in the secondary, but Whiteland was going to be power on power tonight. Whiteland runs the ball. Avon has a great front three and excellent linebackers, and it was just going to be power on power.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Whiteland's style and what they're really, really good at is also what Avon happens to be really, really good at. And right now, Avon is, playing their game better than Whiteland. And Whiteland, unfortunately, it is still in the first quarter, and they don't necessarily need to get away from everything, but, they're already 4 touchdowns down, and what they've done up until this point hasn't worked, so they're going to have to get into that trick bag here a little sooner or try to find something to hang their hat on.
It is Richardson that will give the Warriors their first down of the contest, and they find themselves trailing by 27 points with only 40-some-odd seconds left to go in the first quarter. Here's a give over the right side and powering up to about the 41-42-yard line is once again Anthony Shantz. And it'll bring up 2nd down and about 6 for the Warriors, as the first quarter is going to likely come to a close. Well, I believe Darren Fisher is just going to let this clock run down, talk to his quarterback, and switch ends. As the first quarter of football is in the books here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, and all you can say, it's all Orioles. They lead the Whiteland Warriors 27-0. We'll be back with second quarter action after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
With Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne next to me, I'm Brian Scott. We begin the second quarter here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. It's all Avon, 27-0. The Orioles have not scored a touchdown on any of their drives. And until 43 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Whiteland hadn't had a first down. However, they did get the first down by Chris Richardson, and now they'll face second down and 6 from about their own 37-yard line. And they'll give right up the middle once again to Chance. Chance maybe picks up a yard or two at best, and it's going to bring up another third down for the Warriors.
Yeah, the first quarter of tonight's game was very reminiscent of the third quarter last week. I mean, if you were writing a script as a head football coach, I'm not even sure you would be this positive about things. I mean, to expect to come out and put up 4 touchdowns really as easily as Avon did in the first quarter, I don't even know if in the coach's mind that they thought that was possible.
Richardson is in motion. He'll get the ball on the jet sweep, look for some room around the right side. And Richardson will get the first down on a nice run. He'll take it up to about the 45-yard line, and the Warriors have their second first down of the game. So a nice run around the right side. And the Warriors have it first and 10 from their own 45-yard line. We are just underway here in the second quarter. It is all Avon, 27-0. They had a bad snap on an extra point. That is where the difference in score is, but still 4 touchdowns on the scoreboard for Avon. Richardson in motion. They'll give it to Richardson. He'll go around the right side. He will pick up maybe a yard or two before he's brought down, and tackle looks like it was made by Brody Good. Again, it is very difficult for us to see the Avon numbers. They are wearing those camouflage numbers tonight, and so many of them just kind of look like from up here in the press box a blob. And the same for Whiteland. They are wearing some two-tone numbers, some dark blue that fade into orange, and at times they can be very difficult to see as well. What we do know is that Whiteland has it second down and 7 from their own 48-yard line. They'll bring a man in motion. Here's the give. Patterson has the ball. He'll take it right up the middle, and for the first time tonight, the Whiteland Warriors are in Avon territory, but they will have it third down and about a yard to go.
Yeah, right now, if you're Coach Fisher, you're just trying to get your team to settle down. They're trying to do anything they can to just get any kind of semblance of self-confidence back. That first quarter, they have to be shell-shocked. You know, this is a team that's used to dominating, used to winning. They've proven they can play with 6A teams by getting on the field with Center Grove, but tonight they're getting shellacked.
Chance, the ball carrier, over the right side. He'll pick up about 5 yards down to the Avon 41-yard line before he's gang tackled. But it is another Warrior first down. They'll move the chains as the clock stopped while they do so with 9:43 left to go in the first half. Avon leading 27-0. They'll wind the clock after they set the chains.
Just got a report here. Warren Central's up over Ben Davis 17-0.
We saw Ben Davis, that Avon gave them all they could handle in week 2. And the Giants have not quite been so unbeatable. Here's a pitch as they send the ball to Chance, and that one was well defended and just strung out. Brian Fitzgerald eventually out there to push Chance out of bounds. A loss of maybe a couple of yards back to the 41-yard line, close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down at about 10.
Avon's defense right now is, very, very content to let Whiteland do what they're doing. The biggest thing Avon doesn't want to do right now is just give up the big play, and they have contained Whiteland's offense very, very well.
Here's Richardson in motion. He gets the ball, runs it around the left side on the sweep, and he'll be tripped up and keeps his feet. And a very heady move by Richardson. He was tripped up, I believe.
But his knee never hit the ground.
But his knee never hit the ground. He was tripped up on the play on the near side by Lance Meyer, but his knee never hit the ground, and he gained a few extra yards down to the Oriole 28-yard line, where the Warriors will have it 1st and 10. Richardson will split out to the far side. And he's a wing back to the right. Patterson in motion. He will get the ball. They'll swing it to the right side. And coming in and making a fine play is Timmy Osho, as he just brought Patterson down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if you're going to run a jet sweep, you've got to really knock down the penetration. You can't let anybody get across the line of scrimmage. Avon, other than a couple of plays, has really done a good job with their down 3. They're down 3, and they sub some people in there from time to time and are actually playing without Gunnar Larson, who's probably been, over the last couple of years, their best down lineman, but they're just doing a great job of disrupting the offensive line of Whiteland.
Richardson in motion. He will get the ball, run to the left side, tried to turn it up. An excellent pursuit, as it is Zach Batustak making the tackle, but a gain of about 4 yards on the play will bring up 3rd down and 6. You mentioned that starting front line for the Orioles tonight. Timmy Osho, C.J. Hunt, and A.J. Alcock. And Timmy Osho, since he's come in for Gunnar Larson, has played very, very well. And he will be he's going to be tested again tonight with this jet sweep. But the Warriors now facing 3rd down and about 6 from the Oriole 24-yard line. They'll bring Richardson in motion. Carpenter back to pass. Pressure comes, and he'll go down as A.J. Alcock, who is the Orioles sack machine and a rather enthusiastic young man, as you can see. He brought him down, and the passing game is not the Whiteland strength, and this time the Orioles, A.J. Alcock was coming, but also coming on the other side, I believe, was Timmy Osho. They just were going to bracket and meet back at the quarterback for a sack of about 8 yards back to the 32.
Yeah, A.J.'s one of those kids, and as a coach, you try to get kids just to turn it loose. Turn your body loose and just get after it, and A.J. is he is the epitome of being able to do that. When he's rushing the passer, nobody is more aggressive than A.J. and getting into the backfield.
And we're going to have a timeout called by Darren Fisher. He sent his field goal unit on for what would be a 49-yard attempt. And now they're going to talk it over. So with timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout as well. 6:22 left to go in the first half. All Avon, 27-0. This is game night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Running out of space? Tired of the clutter, but don't want to part with your possessions? We have a solution for that at Northfield Self Storage in Brownsburg. Whether you need a little extra storage or a larger space, our storage units ranging from 5x10 to 10x30 will surely take care of your needs. We also carry packing supplies such as boxes, tape, bubble wrap, and a whole lot more. Come see Northfield Self Storage and U-Haul at 1530 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg, open 7 days a week.
Well, it will be Jacob Ballin to take on attempt a 49-yard field goal. Orioles in a field goal safe formation, expecting maybe them to run out of this, but they will send it on its way. Ballin's kick is up, and it is no good. He had the leg, but it's wide right, and the 49-yard field goal is for naught, and the Warriors remain scoreless with 6:15 left to go in this first half, trailing 27-0.
Yeah, right now, this game for Avon has gone like you hope your homecoming game is going to go. You want to come out here and look good. You want the fans to be happy. It would be nice if they could get a lot of the kids in the game. And I know I'm talking earlier in the first half here, but Avon has just really, really played well tonight against a really outstanding Whiteland football team.
So the Orioles will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, up 27-0 after the failed 49-yard field goal. Here is the give. DePriest loses the football. Ball still on the ground. Let's see who comes away with it. They'll say Avon will come away with it. And
yeah, I think Brandon jumped on the ball.
A little mishandling of the exchange between Peters and DePriest, and if there's been some issues that I'm sure Coach Bless has been looking at all season long, penalties and turnovers, That one of really an unforced variety, but the Orioles get it back, but they'll lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, Whiteland hasn't changed their philosophy. They're still in a 3-4-4, so they're trying to handle things up front with 3 down linemen.
And call it a loss of 4. Back to the 16-yard line as Peters on second down and 14 throws it left side. That ball is well incomplete. He was looking for Harrison Weber. Not sure if somebody might have slightly deflected it, but it was high and out of bounds, and it'll bring up third down and long for the Orioles.
Yeah, not sure. Not a typical Brendan Peters pass. It was a nice spiral, but it was considerably over the receiver's head.
So third down and 14 after the fumble dropped the Orioles back 4 yards.
This is one of the tough things, again, from a head coaching point of view. When you have the kind of quarter you have in the first quarter, to be able to keep that rhythm perfection going is very difficult. You have to really fight not to get too complacent.
Third down and long. Peters back to pass, fires. He has Jordan Peterson. The ball was tipped, but Peterson, with great concentration, grabbed it in, pulled it in, and takes it up to the 40-yard line, and the Orioles convert on third and long for a pickup of about 24 yards to the 40-yard line.
Well, that play just kind of an omen for the night. It's everything has gone Avon's way. They've fumbled a handoff here a couple of plays earlier and recover it. Here they come out, and it looked like it could have been a possible pick six. The Whiteland DB deflected the ball, and Jordan Peterson was very wisely and very athletically stayed with it and caught the ball and picked up the first down.
First and 10, Avon. Peters back to pass all day long, looking for Harrison Weber. Harrison Weber with a great adjustment to the football. Comes back, and it's a big play for the Orioles. It's a pickup of over 35, almost 40 yards, 39 yards from Peters to Weber.
And again, to me, that's a well-thrown ball. Their defender actually was running fairly evenly with him, but there was no free safety. So, I'm going to give Brandon the benefit of the doubt here and say that he did bring Harrison back inside a little bit and kept that ball down, and it was catchable for Harrison and no one else.
So the 39-yard gain takes it to the Whiteland 21. Quick hitch outside. That's Peterson. He's going to gain maybe 4 yards before he is brought down, tackled by Jimon Ogega. And it'll bring up second down and about 6 yards to go with the ball, nose of the football on the 16-yard line.
Yeah, very, very tough for Whiteland right now because they don't know whether to bring pressure or sit back. If they sit back, they're picking them apart with the short stuff. If they bring pressure, they're picking them apart with the deep stuff. If they sit in a 3-man front, they've been able to run the football on them. So Avon has been able to mix things up here. They're coming here, so we'll see.
Here's the give to Priest. Almost was able to elude the one Warrior defender that had shot through. Corey's going to pick up a couple of yards inside the 20 to about the 19 to bring up 3rd and 3 with 3:37 left to go first half. Avon already out in front 27-0. They picked up a big first down on 3rd and 13 and then got the 39-yard completion from Peters to Weber, and now they are deep in Warrior territory but facing 3rd and 3.
Oh, looks like a little poster to Andrew.
Peters back to pass, looks for Griffin. Griffin has it at the 10, and he will dive forward, and it's all going to be where they give him forward progress. I think he may have it. Yes, it'll give it to him.
I think you're right.
But it'll be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, so the Orioles are going to have to go the full 10 yards for the touchdown. But they get the 3rd down conversion, and the clock will start as we approach 3 minutes left to go in this first half in what's been just a thoroughly dominating performance by the Orioles so far.
Yeah, Coach Moore is still sticking to his game plan. They're up by 4 touchdowns, but they're still mixing in the pass and the run and pretty much trying to take whatever Whiteland's giving them.
Corey DePriest is the lone tailback as Peters takes the snap, gives it to Corey. Corey is going to be met in the backfield as great penetration by Dakota Purdue, a 5'7", 170-pound senior linebacker for Whiteland, will stop that play for basically no gain. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, more than likely we're going to see a little slant or, something here. You've got Griffin and Moore out on the same side. They're playing them one-on-one. That's really a tough matchup for anybody.
4 wideouts with Weberson and Peter to the near side. Here's Matt Moore. He slants in, spins, and it's another 6 points for the Avon Orioles as Matt Moore just kind of came down the seam, did a little skinny toward the post, and Peters hit him, and Matt made one spin, and he was in the end zone. A 10-yard touchdown strike, Peters to Moore, and it's 33-0 Avon.
He's a really tough matchup. They list him as a tight end, but he's really one of those H-back kind of people. He's a good blocker. He's a good receiver. He runs routes like a wide receiver.
The extra point is good. And with 2:03 left to go in the first half, the Orioles extend their lead to 34-0. Back with a kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com and ASO.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind Sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Well, Matt Moore gets into the scoring action as he is on the receiving end of a 10-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Peters. And with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining before halftime, Avon is up on Whiteland 34-0. And it bears saying that Whiteland, again, a very, very good team. Again, they were ranked 6th in Class 5A, but this has been total domination by Avon so far in the first half. And the Orioles, who, as Coach mentioned, after we go back to a 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Bryant Fitzgerald to open up the second half last week against Brownsburg, and it has been all Avon since then. They outscored Brownsburg 29-0 in that second half. They have outscored Whiteland 34-0 so far in this first half. Here's a short kick taken about the 10-yard line, cutting up and taking it to the 25 with the kickoff return for Whiteland is Jamon Ogega, and Ogega will give the Warriors really their best field position of the night as they will start this drive off beyond the 25-yard line, and they will spot it when all is said and done at the 27.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough halftime in the Whiteland locker room. I mean, they're as prepared as they can be, and quite honestly, at least tonight, I mean, sitting up here in the box, they're just outmanned. I mean, Avon just has better people. We're quicker. We've got big strike capabilities that Whiteland just doesn't appear to have. So the matchup isn't good right now for Whiteland. They're going to do what they can to keep moving the football and try to slow Avon down. But right now in the first half, they haven't found an answer.
Running the football for the Warriors is Jalen Storms as he gets a carry here, and he will pick up about 6 yards past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4 as we approach a minute 25 and counting here in the first half. Avon up 34-0. Here is a little busted play, and Jace Carpenter does the best of what he can do with that, and he will take it up to about the 38-yard line, but it will be enough for a first down.
Yeah, at this point, I think Coach Fisher's just trying to do anything he can of a positive nature to try to get his kids to keep their head up a little bit. There's no sense of urgency. We're down to a minute. There's no sense of urgency to score. I think right now he's more concerned just about executing some plays pretty well and getting their confidence back a little bit.
Here's Patterson, the ball carrier, comes around the near side, and he will finally be dragged down. As coming in is Brody Good to make the tackle after a pickup of about 5 up to the 43-yard line. But as Coach mentioned, no sense of urgency, clock running as we hit 40 seconds left to go in the first half. The Warriors do have 2 timeouts remaining, but Coach Fisher just As Coach said, it looks like he's content to run this one out. Once again, this is Storms, the ball carrier. He gets around the right side, but he doesn't. He is not able to make the edge. And A.J. Elcock with a great pursuit brings Storms down for maybe even a half-yard loss. It'll bring up third down. And I think that's going to be about it, as we're 10 seconds remaining on the clock here in the first half. And I think Coach Fisher, unless he pulls something off surprisingly, which he will not, they are going to go to the locker room. And Coach Fisher and the Whiteland Warriors, they are going to have a little bit of looking within to see what they can do, as the Avon Orioles will go off the field to a standing ovation from this Avon crowd here on homecoming night. And the Orioles lead the Warriors 34-0. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll tell you what's happening in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, who's playing in Hendricks County. And then Coach and I will talk about what we saw in the first half of a very dominating first half, as the Orioles lead the Warriors 34-0. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
If you're a business owner, with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. Stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area, just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning appointments are available. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouth guards to Avon High School athletes every year for the last 15 years. For more information on how parents can get a mouth guard for their high school athlete or any dental questions, go to avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Halftime at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, and the 11th ranked in Class 6A Avon Orioles, they are blowing out the 6th ranked in Class 5A Whiteland Warriors by the score of 34-0. I'm Brian Scott. This is halftime. The halftime show on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Let's take a look at action that has happened in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference as we enter this week. Games of last week, of course, we saw the Orioles and the Brownsburg Bulldogs hook up right here on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online. And Avon, as I mentioned, they led by 6 at the end of the first half, and when all was said and done, they won 56-21. They blew out the Bulldogs in the second half, 29-0, and right now they put 34 points on the board here in the first half against Whiteland. So the Orioles are on a roll since the opening of the second half last week. Hamilton Southeastern played Fishers last week. It was a wild football game for those of you that saw it, and Fishers had a chance. They were down on the 1-yard line of Hamilton Southeastern toward the last few seconds of that game, fumbled the football, and the Fishers Tigers go down to defeat the Hamilton Southeastern 39-33. Westfield, they beat Noblesville last week 18-14, and Zionsville had the non-con game last week. They beat the Brebeuf team 27-9. So heading into action this week in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, Westfield is the lone undefeated team in the HCC. They are 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in conference play. Hamilton Southeastern, they are 3-1. They own a win already over Avon. And they are also now 2-0 in conference play. The Royals have now won 3 straight. Fishers, with that loss, they dropped to 3-1 overall, 1-1 in conference play. Avon is 2-2 after their win against Brownsburg last week, and they evened up conference play with a record of 1-1. Zionsville, they are 3-1, but they are 0-1 in conference play. Brownsburg 1-3, they're 0-1 in conference play. And Noblesville, who was looked to probably be one of the teams that might be challenging for an HCC crown this year, well, they're 2-2 now, and they are 0-2 in conference action. Games of tonight, the Brownsburg Bulldogs are home tonight. They are having homecoming as well, but they're going to have a tough matchup. They welcome Fishers. Hamilton Southeastern is playing tonight against Westfield in a game a lot of people are looking at, and they're going to have to look at it from downtown Indianapolis because that game's being played at Lucas Oil Stadium with a kickoff set for about 8:30 or 30 minutes from now. Of course, Avon has the non-conference game of the night in the HCC. They're hosting Whiteland, and Zionsville is at Noblesville tonight. Next week, Avon will have another big game. They will be on the road to play the Fishers Tigers. Brownsburg will be at Westfield, Hamilton Southeastern at Zionsville, and Noblesville, they'll have the non-conference game. They will play Chittard. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the Mid-State Conference. We do so because we have Whiteland here tonight, but one of the surprise teams so far here of the early season are the Plainfield Quakers. The Quakers lost their opening season game against these Avon Orioles. Since then, they're now they have won their last 3. They're 3-1 on the season and ranked 11th in Class 5A. So head coach Brian Woodard's Plainfield Quakers playing very, very good football after their season opening loss to Avon. As a matter of fact, some of us may not even recognize that team that lost to Avon that night. But Plainfield now 3-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference play. Whiteland came into tonight's game with a record of 3-1 and 2-0 in conference play. Whiteland had scored 149 points this season, given up only 71. They've given up almost half of that tonight in one half. As many points as they've given up all season long. So that shows you how well the Avon Orioles are playing. The rest of the Mid-State Conference has Decatur Central, followed by Franklin, Mooresville, and Martinsville. We talked about the Plainfield Quakers. They had a big win last week against Indianapolis Roncalli. They won that game 21-17, and Plainfield is hosting Greenwood tonight before playing at Decatur Central next week. Taking a look at what else is happening involving Hendricks County schools. We mentioned the Bulldogs. They are 1-3 on the season. Brownsburg got that win against Franklin. That snapped an 8-game losing streak, but they lost last week, and they're playing a Fishers team that I'm sure is really looking for some payback after last week. That's tonight in Brownsburg. Plainfield, I just mentioned, is playing Greenwood. Danville is looking for their first win of the season, and they're going to have a tough matchup tonight. They have to play the Chargers of North Montgomery, who are ranked 19th in 3A tonight. The Tri-West Bruins, they are the defending Class 3A champions, but they started the season 0-2. They picked up a win last week as they blew out Danville 59-13. Tri-West is ranked 12th in 3A. They are playing Western Boone in a Sagamore Conference game, but that game will be played tomorrow with a kickoff set for 4:45 at Lucas Oil Stadium. And the Cascade Cadets, who started the season 0-2, they are now 2-2 after blowing out Cloverdale last week 55-0. They will travel to Greencastle tonight. So that's a look at some Hendricks County schools. Look at both the Hoosier Crossroads and the Mid-State Conference. And when we come back, Coach Shelbourne and I will talk about what we saw in this first half of a very dominating Avon Oriole performance. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year.
Welcome back to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Halftime at Avon High School. It has been all Orioles as the Orioles lead Whiteland by the score of 34-0. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. And, Coach, we take a look at this first half, and other than possibly the high snap on an extra point, there really hasn't been anything to sit there if you're Coach Bless and go, well, what do we focus on?
There really isn't. I mean, it's all about, when you're coaching, you just want your kids to play as well as they can play, and that's what they've done. And to be honest with you, on the other side of things, Whiteland really hasn't played poorly. I mean, if I can be as point blank as I usually am, and I always am, I mean, Whiteland just doesn't match up with Avon. They're well coached. It's not that their execution is poor. Avon just has better athletes than Whiteland. I think they came in with a good game plan. They were going to try and go with the 3-man front. I know they were hoping to, run the football here a little bit, grind some time off the clock, keep Brandon Peters on the sidelines and try to get up by a couple of scores and make Avon play a little catch up. And, before they blink their eye, they're down 14-0 here within the first 5 minutes of the game. So I'm sure Coach Fishers came in here knowing that they were going to have to execute very well and play a really, really flawless game to have a chance. I'm not too sure, and it's really difficult to see on film, that they realized that they were really going to be as outmanned as they were. As we talked, Avon has really been dominant in every phase of the game. I mean, we even caught the punt tonight, which is something we struggled with here a little bit. But, the combination of Peters and Griffin struck early. The running game has been good. The offensive line has done a nice job. The defensive down three has just gone crazy. Our 4 linebackers, Fitz and Matt Thompson and Brody Good and, Levi Hawk is the starter, and Zach Patustak got in last week and played very well, and I think had 14 tackles, so they've got a little depth there. And Whiteland is not a team that's going to challenge our secondary, so our secondary has been very solid out here tonight. So, it's just one of those games where Avon has done what they were coached during the week. The execution has been good. The first quarter especially, they ran around, flew to the football, and did all those things. The second quarter, not that they played poorly, but, I don't think they played quite with the same enthusiasm. But I mentioned early, the Whiteland sidelines just looks very morose, sad. I think the realization that they were in for a long night happened about the first 6 minutes of the first quarter. So, the second half, I don't really expect to see anything out of the ordinary. I think, Avon will continue to try to do the things that they do well. I know it's homecoming, so the defense is going to do everything they can to try to, put a shutout up here. And I think Whiteland, not that you're playing for the rest of the season, but in the back of their mind, I think if you were to get them to be honest, they're going to hopefully get out of here the second half with nobody getting hurt. Hopefully put a couple points up and get their confidence back a little bit and maybe try to slow down the Avon offense a little bit and move on and move forward and see what they can do in conference play in the 5A tournament time.
You mentioned they're 3-0 against 5A schools. The only other 6A school they played was Center Grove. They lost that game 37-0. The 71 points that Whiteland gave up coming into this game, now you look at 34 points put up by Avon, 37 points put up by Center Grove. Not often you see this kind of a disparity from 5A to 6A. Sometimes you might see it 6A and lower, but normally for Whiteland, they've always held in fairly well against 6A schools. This year doesn't seem to be quite the case.
Well, I think the 6A schools now are separating themselves a little bit. I came to Avon in 2002. We had 1,400 kids, so we were probably at that time about the same size as where Whiteland probably is now. And as a guidance counselor, I think, we've got 700 kids in our graduating class, and, we're up over 2,800 and some kids. So, Avon has doubled. And we're a small 6A school compared to Carmel and Ben Davis and Penn and Warren Central. But, the difference is Warren's got twice as many students as Whiteland. So, I think it's really more a matter of, their top kids can play for anybody, Whiteland's top kids. I think Avon just has more quality athletes, and in a game like tonight, that's, it's going to show, and it has shown.
Whiteland, as I mentioned, they've only had one loss this season. It was to Center Grove, 37-0. They will play Avon this week, and then they will finish out the rest of the season against Mid-State Conference action, Martinsville, Mooresville, Plainfield, and Greenwood. And whatever happens tonight with this Whiteland Warrior team, as Coach Shelbourne says, come 5A tournament time, this is going to be one team that a lot of teams will not want to play.
Well, he's a favorite. I basically said the same thing when we played Plainfield the first game. We're sitting up here watching Avon kind of dominate things and, sitting here thinking that maybe Plainfield's in for a long year. And since that game, they're 3-1. So, Coach Woodard is, in the same conference. They're fundamentally sound. They're well coached. They play hard. They beat a Terre Haute North team. They came back and beat Roncalli. So, and on the night that Avon played them, it was again apples and oranges. Avon just totally dominated the game. I don't think it had anything at all to do with coaching as much as it just did that Avon, as a 6A school and a school with a lot more students in the school, we just. Fortunately, I guess if you're an Avon fan, we just have a few more athletes than the 5A schools. But, when we come out and match up against other 6A schools, we played Ben Davis and Hamilton Southeastern and schools closer to our size, and the talent level is a little bit more balanced.
Avon will get the ball to begin the second half. That might be the scary thing for head coach Darren Fisher and the Whiteland Warriors, is that Brandon Peters in the offense will get the ball to begin the second half. Already up 34-0 as Avon has put as they put 6 touchdowns on the board. Or, excuse me, 5. Can't count today. It has been a long day, and adding is not my strong suit this evening. 34-0 is our score, as the Orioles have put up the 4 touchdowns, and they are getting ready to kick this ball away. 5 touchdowns, 34-0. The one missed extra point, that's the difference. Is Jacob Ballion's getting ready to kick this ball deep, and he will do so to Corey DePriest and Bryant Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald had the 75-yard touchdown return to open the second half last week. Valiant, he's got a leg, and he kicks it right into the end zone. That is Fitzgerald feels the football, but the Orioles will start on their 20-yard line. And Valiant showing a good leg. We saw Darren Fisher send him out for a 49-yard field goal that he missed wide right, but had plenty of leg in that first half. So he kicks this one deep, and the Orioles will start on their own 20-yard line up 34-0 with 12 to begin the third quarter.
Well, I know the coaches from Avon, I know Coach Moore in particular, calling the plays. They would really like to come out here and just drive this ball down the field and put another one up here and keep that momentum going. That's not the start they wanted there.
That's a snap that I don't know if Brandon wasn't expecting the football. It hit him square in the chest, went down to the ground, and he just covered it up.
Yeah, he sure looked surprised. So I don't know if it came up on a wrong count or somebody yelled. You know, sometimes you get a defensive player that will yell out something, and the center takes it for the snap count and snaps the ball. But Brandon certainly wasn't prepared for that.
Matter of fact, the Orioles were called for a penalty. I believe a player was in motion at the snap. The Warriors declined the penalty. They'll take the loss of 4 and the down, and it'll bring up second down and 14.
Well, that's a mental thing, and that's the thing that right now Avon and the coaching staff is going to try to fight. Mentally, they need to stay sharp.
Darian Love, the ball carriers. We see Whiteland start now. Looks like their coach bringing their defense back a little bit, not quite stacking up front. And the gain by Love is maybe just 2 yards up to about the 18, 19-yard line. That'll bring up third down and long. They will send 3 wide receivers to the near side of the formation, as coming in as a wideout for Avon is Connor McCandless. Back to pass is Peters. Fires left side. Pass is complete. It'll be shy of the first down by about 5 yards. And for the first time tonight, the Oriole punt team heads out to the field.
Well, again, you know, in the end, it probably won't cost them, but, you know, they didn't want to come out here and go 3 and out. They'd like to keep that momentum going. You know, it's not so much, I don't think, tonight a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of execution and, you know, keeping your offense sharp and preparing for, you know, some other opponents the rest of the year, and obviously in that 6A tournament time.
They will bring the Gunners in close as Whiteland showed a punt block, and now the play clock shows 0, and that's going to cost Avon 5.
Well, it's probably a good thing because they were in an illegal formation, at least as far as I can see from here. They had 5 guys in the backfield, so I'm not sure if they let that happen on purpose so they could, you know, fix that.
Dakota Purdue is the lone single safety. Now they will send another player back deep and use twin safeties. Perino, high snap, takes it down, gets a low line drive kick that'll take an Oriole bounce, and it'll be fielded by Purdue at the 41. He'll go straight up field, and he'll pick up a few yards, and Whiteland will start their first drive of the second half with pretty decent field position at they're about their own 48-yard line, trailing 34-0 with 9:49 left to go third quarter. So we'll see what what changes they have made at halftime, as they'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 48-yard line. They will send 3 wideouts this time, and they'll split too far out. Coming in motion, though, is Patterson. He'll get the football, and he will be brought down. Brian Fitzgerald had a defender draped all over him. He shot into the offensive backfield and still made the play.
Well, they're running right into Avon's strength. Fitzgerald is the wide field linebacker. He's out there for a reason. He's out there because he's, quick and, he can run, but he's as tough as a linebacker. And Whiteland's really trying to run at him, and that's a tough thing to do. I don't think anybody's done it on him, for this entire season.
A loss of 5. Carpenter out to pass, swings it out to Shantz on the right side. Shantz can't haul it in, and it's quickly 3rd down and long for the Warriors.
Yeah, they're just really, Whiteland is really just trying to find anything to hang their hat on. They've tried to run inside, they've tried to run outside, they've tried some counter plays, they've tried to throw the football, and other than a play or two for a decent drive, they've just really not been able to find anything that they've been successful attacking Avon's defense.
3rd and 15, the ball on the Warrior 43-yard line. Here is the give to Richardson, and there's only about 5 black-clad Oriole defenders there to bring him down. Actually, it was Brandon Patterson, the ball carrier. That's another loss of maybe a yard back to the 42. So all Whiteland has done on that drive is lose about 7 yards, and they will once again bring Jacob Ballion on to punt this ball away as Matt Moore and Brian Fitzgerald will put their heels back around their own 25-yard line. Clock moving, under 9 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter, 34-0 in favor of the Orioles. Here comes the Oriole punt block team. They almost get to it, but once again, Ballion gets one heck of a roll. And he's had 2 rather ugly-looking punts, but their rolls have pinned the Orioles back. This one will finally be stopped down at about the 14-yard line, and that's where Avon will take over with 8:38 left to go in this 3rd quarter, up 34-0.
Well, that's one of the changes that's happened here in football in the last few years. He's a rugby-style punter. And, the old style was try to kick the ball, turn it over, kick that spiral so you can hit, kick that ball a long way. But with the turf fields that everybody has now, the rugby style is such that you want the ball to roll, and if you can get it to roll in the correct direction, you can get just as much yardage and make it a lot tougher to return.
Blitz comes, it's picked up, but Corey DePriest is not going to find any room because great penetration by Whiteland will stop Priest in the backfield for a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, with a big lead here, I'm sure Avon would be very content just to try to run the football here, take some time off the clock, try not to get people hurt, get some other people in possibly in the 3rd quarter. But Whiteland, because they are competitive, they're coming after it. They're blitzing a little bit. They're not giving up. They want to do with the things that they do very well, and they continue to keep attacking Avon's offense. So they may end up having to throw here.
4-wide look, but this is Corey DePriest right up the middle, and Corey is going to pick up about 11 yards, which would be enough for a 1st down. And they will indeed move the chains. It was a nice run by Corey DePriest. Will spot the ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 Avon. Clock moving, 7:47 left to go, 3rd quarter. Avon leads 34-0. That was our score at half. Orioles had to punt for the first time in the game on their opening possession. Whiteland was 3 and out on their first possession of the second half, and now the Orioles with their second possession have their first down of the second half. A 4-wide out look for Avon, but the give is to DePriest. Good penetration, but a penalty flag comes flying in. Again, very good penetration by the Whiteland defense, and the holding penalty will go against Avon.
Well, they're getting after it. They're still in that 3-man front, but they're bringing 2 linebackers every time. Whether they want to or not, Avon's going to end up having to throw the football here a little bit. Right now, Whiteland's got a few too many people in there for Avon to block. They're bringing 5-6 people inside, and they're just really making it very difficult to run inside. But at the same time, when you do that, that's going to leave the outside pretty wide open. So Avon's going to come out here and probably throw the football and attack the weakness in the defense.
Penalty marks the ball back at the 14-yard line. Good protection. Peters rolls out. He will keep it himself. He'll bring it up the near side, and he will run out of bounds at around the 27-yard line, and he will pick up all of the penalty yardage back and get him close to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard shy. They'll spot the ball at the 24-yard line. It'll bring up second down in about 11.
Yeah, and that play right there to me just kind of shows the maturity of Brandon Peters. As a sophomore a couple years ago, he might have forced it. He might have tried to make a throw. He might have tried to get an extra 4 or 5 yards, but taking a chance on getting hurt. And this time he saw the opening. No one was open. He took what he could and ran out of bounds.
Ball is loose once again. Whiteland says they have it, and so does the official, as, again, a mishandling of the exchange from Peters to DePriest. The ball ends up on the turf, and this time the Warriors will have their best field position all game long, deep in Avon territory at the Avon 21-yard line after the fumble recovery.
Yeah, and this is just, where it's really, really difficult as a coaching staff and really difficult, again, as a team to keep your mental edge. When you're up 34-0, the other team's really not challenging you at all. The whole challenge for the Avon football team right now is to stay mentally sharp themselves, and at least so far this half, they haven't done it.
There's Shantz, the ball carrier. He'll go around the right side and pick up about 3-4 yards inside the Oriole 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 18. It's a pickup of 3. It'll bring up second down and 7 for Whiteland, as we are 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter clock. Avon up 34-0. But a turnover has given the Warriors their best field position of the night. They will line up with Brandon Patterson, a wing left, Shantz, wing right. And they will send a wide out to the right. The give is to Patterson. He'll try to turn the corner. He will get the corner. He'll gain a yard at best, maybe 2. And Brian Fitzgerald, once again, in pursuit, pushes him out of bounds. They'll spot the ball at the 17-yard line. That's going to bring up third down and 6.
Well, Whiteland would really like to get anything on the board here. I mean, a touchdown would be great. I'm sure they would even be somewhat happy with a field goal. They just need something to get their confidence back.
To bring a man in motion, here come the Orioles, and they just sent the house and just carved right through the Whiteland offensive line as everybody in black came a-coming. And Carpenter had nothing to do but just kind of hold on to the football, as a loss will drop it back to the 20-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down, and Jacob Ballion is going to be on to attempt what will be a 37-yard field goal.
Well, he showed on the kickoff and the other field goal attempt. He's got plenty of leg, and really the first field goal wasn't that far off.
So Ballion pretty much in the middle of the field with clock running at 4:44 left to go third quarter. Good snap, kicks the ball up, and this one's going to be well short. So it's short and to the right for as good of a leg.
I jinxed it.
He got jinxed. 4:38 left to go third quarter. Orioles will get the ball back. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Orioles' first play after the missed field goal. Brandon Peters, he was looking for the home run ball. He had Harrison Weber wide open, but Peters threw it with a little bit too much juice. He eluded a good Whiteland pressure, stepped up into the pocket, stepped up into the pass. That one sails long over Harrison Weber. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, I've mentioned many times, and I'll continue to mention, I still like the call. I always had a philosophy you had to go for the home run. 4 or 5 times a game just to loosen up the defense, and that's what Avon did, and almost converted it.
Darian Love, the ball carrier, out past the 20-yard line to about the 27-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. We've seen Corey DePriest run the ball. We've seen Darian Love run the ball. Darian Love has a touchdown, and we've seen Brian Fitzgerald gets his hands on the football. He scored a long 53-yard touchdown run
on his one carry.
On his one carry. So we've seen 3 tailbacks in for the Orioles. They've all done fairly well tonight. Here's 3rd down and 3. Peters fires, left side pass is incomplete, kind of down into the ground. He was looking for Jordan Peterson. And the Orioles will once again be forced to punt with 3:52 left to go in this 3rd quarter, but they still lead 34-0.
Well, for as execution error-free as Avon played the first half, this 3rd quarter has not been quite as sharp. We're just not clicking. We're not in sync. We're not together. It's been a little bit more hit and miss, but it's one of those things you try to guard against. But when you're up 34-0, that's kind of an expectation.
Perino booms this one. Dakota Purdue will take it at the 37. He'll look for some room, won't find any, and he'll be brought down. As coming in to make the tackle for Avon, I believe, was Noah Diallo. It is very difficult to see these numbers in the camos, but we'll do our best, and especially as we expect this game to go on, to see quite a few more second-teamers in here. And we got a personal foul, face mask called against Avon on the return. So that's going to move the football into Oriole territory after the penalty. And once again, set up Whiteland with very good field position. So 3:39 remaining to go in this 3rd quarter. The Orioles still lead 34-0. That was our score at halftime. And after the penalty, they will march the football down to the Oriole 43-yard line, and that's where Whiteland will set up shop. 1st down and 10. So Jace Carpenter sends Patterson in motion, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looks downfield, fires, and it's almost intercepted. Scott Campbell, I think he had end zone on his mind because he jumped that and saw it coming from a mile away, and that ball slipped right through his hands. If he had grabbed it, nobody was between him and the end zone.
Yeah, he did everything perfect except intercept the pass. He played it well. He covered his man well. He broke on the ball extremely well, and I think you're right. I mean, had he intercepted that ball, no one would have caught him.
So bring up 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. 3:32 left in this quarter. The give is right up the middle and getting maybe a couple of yards on the play. I believe it was Ed Cisneros, the tailback on that play. He'll pick up maybe a couple of yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Warriors as the clock continues to move toward the 3-minute mark left to go 3rd quarter. Avon up 34-0. Whiteland, they've missed a couple of field goals. They took some chances in the first half, and now they have 3rd and long, and the ball's on the turf. And they'll say Whiteland got the ball back, but now it's going to be 4th down and about 11. And then from this field position, I would imagine Coach Fisher, with the score and all that, he's going to punt the football.
I know the fans hate it, but that is the smart move. If it were 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 maybe, but 4th and 10, I mean, they got no yards in 3 plays, so I don't know what the likelihood of getting 10 in 1 play would have been. This is the wise football move.
So Ballion on to punt this ball away, and now he gets his best high punt, and this one just on the fly is going to hit the end zone. So after his previous punts were those low rugby punts, there is a penalty flag at the 29-yard line. So there is a penalty flag.
Yeah, one of the Avon kids had his helmet off, so I don't know if somebody dragged it off or not.
So let's hold off a minute and see what the penalty is, as the ball would start at the 20, but let's check out what the penalty was. It was, of course, away from everything, as Ballion, who's had those low rugby punts that have gotten great rolls, this time he tried to kick it high, but it goes into the end zone. And we'll see if the Orioles are moving backwards or forwards after the penalty. It's a holding penalty against Avon. So they will move it backwards, and Avon will have the ball still with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Avon with a 34-0 lead will start this drive from their own 10-yard line. And Brandon Peters brings the play in from the sideline. 34-0 game night in Hendricks County. So glad you could join us on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online. It has been all Avon all night long, but not so much here in the third quarter. Both teams struggling to find some offense. Here's DePriest. He'll take it right up the middle, eludes one tackle. This is Darian Love to the 20, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50, and Darian Love with the big, powerful run over the left side, and Darian Love will chart off 45 yards into Whiteland territory, 1st and 10 Avon. Well, there's been a few instances tonight, and I'm sure that's one thing that Coach Bless will talk about, is turnovers and fumbles. There has just been a little disconnect between Brandon Peters and Corey DePriest tonight on a few handoffs. Now Darian Love is in there, and he rumbles 45 yards into Whiteland territory, and it's 1st and 10 Avon. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side of the formation. And it's a play-action pass. They set it up to Darian. Darian will elude one tackler and dive close to the first down marker at about the 35. They'll mark him at the 34. It will be a gain of 11 and a first down for Avon.
Nice little change-up play, a little screen. It has been successful for Avon most of the season. They faked a little inside zone, tried to make it look like they were going to screen to the right side to Matt Moore, and then went back to the back that they faked to. Whiteland defended it pretty well, but it was a nice little gain and a nice little change-up call for Avon.
So 1st and 10 Orioles at the Warrior 34-yard line. Clock moving, 1:06 left to go, third quarter. The give is to Love, eludes one tackle, and he'll pick up about 3 yards. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but kind of shrugged that tackle off, and in the end will pick up a couple of yards to about the 32-yard line. Call it 2nd and 8 as we're under a minute left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think Avon and Coach Moore in particular here, since he's calling the plays, I think they would be very content here if they could just kind of methodically continue this drive, put another touchdown up, and then try to get some of the other kids in here at the end of the game and just, get out of here injury-free and move on to next week.
Peters fires near side. That's Jordan Peterson. Does a little stutter step, cuts it inside, and he's still running, eludes another tackle, and he'll get a few more yards, but the ball is loose, and the Orioles once again have fumbled the football. Jordan Peterson trying to get a few extra yards. He had the first down, but he is stripped, and the Warriors will have the ball on the turnover at about their own 12-yard line.
Frustrating. We're doing some good things, but unlike the first half, our consistency in the first half was outstanding. We did it play after play after play. Second half, and again, I attribute this to just kind of the mental makeup of the game. When you're up 34-0, it's tough to stay as mentally sharp as you might at the beginning of the game when you're just not sure. But at this point in the game, it's not that they don't want to do well, but the adrenaline isn't flowing quite as quickly as it was the first half.
19.2 seconds remain in the quarter on this 1st and 10 play. Here's the give coming and rumbling around the near side. I believe it's Anthony Shantz, and he will pick up about 5-6 yards on the play, up to about the 18-yard line as the time winds down here in the third quarter, and we will flip ends and begin quarter number 4 with our score. The Avon Orioles leading the Whiteland Warriors 34-0. Back with fourth quarter action after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com. Running out of space? Tired of the clutter, but don't want to part with your possessions? We have a solution for that at Northfield Self Storage in Brownsburg. Whether you need a little extra storage or a larger space, our storage units ranging from 5x10 to 10x30 will surely take care of your needs. We also carry packing supplies such as boxes, tape, bubble wrap, and a whole lot more. Come see Northfield Self Storage and U-Haul at 1530 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg, open 7 days a week.
Welcome back to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium at Avon High School as we begin quarter number 4 as the Avon Orioles lead the Whiteland Warriors 34-0. I'm Brian Scott alongside the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. Whiteland was 2nd and 4. They swing a pass out to Patterson. Patterson gets it, eludes one tackle, but the rest of the Orioles defense comes in to take him down after a gain of, practically no gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, pursuit was outstanding. The Whiteland receiver did a nice job really shaking the first 2 defenders. And the next thing you know, there's 6 or 7 black jerseys just flat out running to the football. You know, that's good coaching. Coach Bombi and the staff do a great job getting our kids to flat out run to the football. And it was very evident that time, especially after the first defender missed the tackle.
So they'll bring up 3rd down. They're going to actually say he lost about a yard on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and a long 4. Here is Shantz, the ball carrier, and he's going to drag an Oriole. A penalty flag comes in late. Shantz was hit about 3 yards back, but some determined running gives him what would be a 1st down, but let's check the penalty flag. Marker's down at about the 20-yard line, and
they're talking to Whiteland, it looks like.
Orioles have had a few penalties in this game, and they're going to be called for a personal foul penalty. So it's credit the yardage. That would have been enough for a 1st down, and then tack 15 more onto it after the fact. And the ball will be finally spotted at the Warrior 38-yard line. Well, they'll have it 1st and 10. Trailing 34-0 with 11:07 left to go in the football game. It was 34-0 at the end of the first half as the Orioles put together 24 minutes of absolutely outstanding football. Things haven't quite gone as swimmingly so far in the 3rd quarter, and now we're into the 4th. Here is a give, and that is Zach Batustik taking the ball carrier, picking him up and putting him down after a gain of maybe 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, Zach is starting to get a little bit more playing time here lately, and he's taking advantage of the opportunity. He's seemingly all over the field last week, and it looks like he's continuing with that same kind of play, when he's gotten the opportunity here tonight.
So it's a pickup of a couple on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Warriors with the nose of the football resting it at the 40-yard line. 10-14 and counting here in the 4th quarter. They'll bring a man in motion. That's Patterson, but they'll give the handoff to the tailback. Believe that is Shantz once again. Correction, that was Anthony Shantz, the ball carrier.
Yeah, it looked like Elcock and Batustak again on the tackle.
So it's going to be basically no gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for Whiteland. As they will split out 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field. The tailback will be Ed Cisneros. Orioles show blitz. Here they come, right up the middle. Pressure comes. Carpenter gets it off, and it's incomplete. Good coverage down there as
Tolliver.
Darnell Tolliver, the senior, with good coverage, and that'll bring up 4th down for Whiteland.
Yeah, excellent coverage. He was all over him. He was pressured. Quarterback really did a nice job avoiding the first player and, just getting that pass off and making as good a throw as he did.
So Jacob Ballion, he's on to punt once again. Brian Fitzgerald and Matt Moore will play at their heels at about the 25. This one's an end-over-end kick, calling for the fair catch, but then letting it bounce. This one's going to take more of a sideways hop, and it'll be down at about the 28-yard line. And the Orioles will take over 1st and 10 there. Brandon Peters, he will stay in the game and take the offense out onto the field, up 34-0 with 9:15 remaining in this fourth quarter. Nope, they will bring in Cameron Meisner. So Peters was out there, then they brought him back and they sent Meisner out. So Brandon Peters' day is done. Cameron Meisner now in for the Orioles, as we're going to start seeing more and more of the subs. And here is a big hit. Darian Love, the ball carrier, and making the tackle for Whiteland, and just coming up and laying a helmet was Chase Jones, a 5'8", 168 senior defensive back. But Love will have the first down on the carry. He just bounced right back up and headed back toward the huddle.
Yeah, well, it was a nice hit, but it was after he gained 20 yards. So I guess, a good feeling.
Take your victories when you can.
A good feeling for both teams, I guess.
So 1st and 10, Avon from their own 38-yard line. Meisner, the sophomore, in at quarterback. Here is Love, and this one's not going to gain much, as Love will be tackled before he could. Well, they're going to give him forward progress for about 2 yards, 1.5 yards. Knows the football just shy of the 40-yard line. Let's call it 2nd down and 8 as the clock continues to move. Under 8:30 left to go in this football game. All Avon, 34-0. And again, we're starting to see more and more substitutions as Avon bringing in more players on homecoming night. Here's Meisner's pass. He finds Jordan Peterson on the far sideline for a pickup of about 5 to the 45.
Yeah, and a very nice throw. That's not an easy throw, especially when it's your first throw of the game. I mean, it was delivered from midfield almost all the way to the sidelines, delivered on time, delivered with a little zip. So very, very impressed with Meisner's first throw here tonight. And, he's got a 3rd down situation here, so we'll see what he can do to help his team convert.
Drew Pankey-Wallace is in, also Connor McCandless, as Meisner has 3rd down and 3 at the Oriole 45-yard line. Warriors show blitz. They bring a pair of linebackers, but the give is right up the middle. This is Darian Love, still running, still dragging Warriors, and Love will pick up another 20 yards. They're going to spot him down at the 36, so 19 yards on the carry. And the Orioles are in Warrior territory, 1st and 10 at the Warrior 36-yard line.
Yeah, very, very nice run by Darian, but at the same time, they blitzed. Avon's offensive line, Shoemaker, Wilson, Dickerson, the 2 freshmen, Bowles and Batten, did a great job picking up the blitz and making an opening for him to run through.
So Cameron Meisner will have 1st and 10 at the Warriors 36-yard line. Meisner takes the snap, gives to Love. Love looks for some room around the left side, and he'll pick up about 1 yard or maybe 2 with forward progress down to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 as the clock continues to move. 6:45 remaining in this football game.
This is exactly, I think, what the Avon coaches had hoped they would do in the second half. They're just kind of methodical here. They're just nickel and diamond. They threw the one pass successfully. They're just running a little inside zone, a little trap in here, and just trying to put 6, 7, 8, 10 plays together and try to get another touchdown up for Avon.
Meisner gives the ball to Love. This time there's 3 Whiteland Warriors waiting for him at the point of attack, and Love is actually going to lose a couple of yards on the play. And they'll spot the ball back at the original line of scrimmage at the 36-yard line, and that will bring up 3rd down and 10. So 3rd and 10 for Avon. Clock under 6 minutes, 5:48 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Meisner will bring Love to his right. Jordan Peterson is the wide receiver to the left. Meisner back to pass, but this play will be blown dead immediately. Flags all over the place. As an illegal procedure is called against Avon. So back up the Orioles 5 yards, spot the ball at the 41-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 15 when all is said and done for Cameron Meisner and the Oriole offense. Again, seeing a lot of players coming in. Drew Pankey-Wallace, Connor McCandless, Jordan Peterson remains in the game, and Darian Love remains the tailback for the Avon Orioles.
Drew Pankey-Wallace is a wideout as well.
But the give is to Darian. Darian will pick up a few yards before he is met and brought down after a pickup of about 4 yards to the 37-yard line. It'll bring up 4th and long, and we will see the Orioles punt this football away after.
The punt team needs a little practice.
Team needs a little practice. We'll see if Sam Perino can pin this ball deep into Whiteland territory. Clock continues to move. We have 4:45 left to go in this football game. A game that was won pretty much in the first quarter. And while neither team has scored here in the second half, it is still a 34-0 Avon lead. Bad snap. Perino does a great job to field it and get this kick away. And in the end, he's going to pin Whiteland inside the 15-yard line. So a great job. They'll spot it at the 10. A great job by Sam Perino to field the snap back on a bounce and get the ball away.
Yeah, it was perfect execution by him. They brought the blitz, had a little bit of a low snap that he fielded cleanly, and, he put that ball right out of bounds. You want to get it inside the 20, he put it out on the 10. You really can't ask for much more than that.
That's where Whiteland will start this drive, 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Whiteland's offensive successes can really be just the number of first downs they can count tonight. Here is a give, and coming around the near side for little yardage there is a gain of about a yard. As now Whiteland beginning to shuttle in quite a few different players as well. I believe that is Preston Phillips, the ball carrier. Actually, I believe it was Shaw Cloud was the ball carrier. Little gain, maybe a half yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Looks like Coach Bless and the staff are doing what they can to make sure all the seniors get an opportunity to play in their last homecoming game.
They'll bring Shaw in motion. They'll hand the ball off and rumbling up the field to about the 19-yard line, I believe. Again, we're getting a lot of players for both teams now. A lot of substitutions. A.J. France, I believe, the ball carrier for Whiteland. It'll bring up 3rd down and about a yard. So Avon is going to go above the 500 mark after tonight's game. They will be 3-2 on the year, but it doesn't get any easier next week. They will be on the road to play at a very, very tough Fishers Tigers. 3rd and short. The give is up the middle and trying to get some room and getting enough for what looks to be a first down. I believe that is Jackson Vanetta. Jackson Vanette gets the carry. He'll take it to the 21-yard line. It'll be first down, but right now Coach Fisher electing just to run the ball and run the clock down and get back to Whiteland with as few injuries as possible and get back into the meat of the Mid-State Conference schedule. 1st and 10 as they come around the near side. We do have a new quarterback in for Whiteland. It's Nick Carrizales, who is a sophomore. So Nick Carrizales is the quarterback for Whiteland. as the ball will. So it'll be second down, and they haven't. Now they'll move the marker, send a man in motion. They'll give to the ball carrier in the tailback, and taking it right up the middle once again is A.J. France. He's a 5'7", 162 senior running back. He'll pick up a few yards to about the 29-yard line. That'll bring up third down and 2. We're under 2 minutes left to go in this football game. And coaches, we've now watched the second half of the Brownsburg game, the first half of this game. Put the two together, that's one unstoppable team. But now I'm sure Coach Bless, heading into Fishers next week, he's now got a few things he's going to think about with this third quarter.
Well, the good news from a head coaching point of view is they really didn't do badly, but we kind of got flat in the second half, which will give him something to coach them up about during the week. You know, when you go in at halftime, the way we played the first half, you kind of go in and throw your hands up, and there's really not much.
Which is what we talked about
exactly.
At halftime. What do you talk about?
There's really not much you can say. There's really not many things you can correct. And again, from a head coach's point of view, you know, they won the game easily. We got out of here healthy. But, you know, he can harp on the fact that we've got to play 4 quarters. We've got to play the entire game. And, you know, maybe we can get by with that. You know, out here tonight in this game, but, you know, next week against Fishers and down the road against some of the other teams, you're not going to be able to do that.
Kristen Phillips with a nice run on 4th and 1. And for the first time tonight, Whiteland converts a 4th down. They'll take it up to the 45-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and 10. But we have 50 seconds left to play in this football game. Well, probably one of the other things that I'm sure Coach Bless is going to be thankful for is we look at what time it is. The last 2 weeks, his team has gotten to bed rather late on game night as Phillips still running. He'll be brought down after a gain of about 9. At Hamilton Southeastern, we had the 2-hour delay due to weather. Last week, it was a late kickoff due to a national audience. Tonight, even though it is homecoming, everybody's going to be kind of out of this game and out of the locker rooms fairly early. That's going to be one more play as we are down to about 11 seconds left to go. Whiteland will elect to run another play, and they will not get a whole lot out of it, maybe a yard or 2, and that's it, and that's when the clock is going to expire. Final score, the Avon Orioles defeat the Whiteland Warriors 34-0. We'll be back with some final thoughts after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
If you're a business owner, with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. Stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy.
The Avon Orioles have 34 first-half points, and when the game is all said and done, that's still what they had at the end of the game. But, however, they still win this game 34-0 to improve their record to 3-2 on the year. Brandon Peters, 3 touchdown passes in the first half, 2 to Andrew Griffin, 1 to Matt Moore. A pair of touchdown runs, one by Darian Love from 2 yards out, and a 53-yard touchdown run from Brian Fitzgerald. The Orioles could do no wrong in the first half, neither offensively or defensively. Second half, maybe not quite the same team that came out of the locker room, as Coach Shelbourne said, maybe a little flat, but in the end they still will walk off this field tonight with a big win and head to Fishers next week for a big matchup with the Fishers Tigers with a record of 3-2. Are the Orioles, and a big homecoming night win. As we said just a minute ago, you like the first half. You put the first half of this game and the last half of the Brownsburg game together, and you've got a game film that you can show anywhere. But a few questions. Mainly, I think one of the things that Coach Bless is going to talk about, is penalties and 2 turnovers.
Well, it's what you'd expect. I mean, if you'd have told them during the week that they were going to win 34-0 and come out of this game with no one hurt, I think they'd have been perfectly happy. I mean, the second half, unfortunately, it's what it is. It's what happened in sports. I mean, I don't care if it's a high school level, professional level. When you're up 34-0, as coaches, you can go in there and say, whatever you want to say. And I've been there as a player also. I mean, when you're up 34-0 and the coaches are telling you have to play as hard as you did the first half, I mean, you hear the message, but, it just really doesn't quite sink in. So, I think as coaches, they hoped that they would have played a little bit better the second half. I mean, it really wasn't bad. We didn't put the points up, but at the same time, our attack changed. We tried to go deep a couple of times, but we got out of that attack mode. We were in the first half. The defense, I thought, played pretty well the entire game. I mean, they got after it a little bit, and they loosened up a little bit late, tried not to give up the big play, but I thought overall the defense played very well. Their front six continue to play very well, and Fitz is that big play guy. He got the one play on offense, and off he went. So overall I thought it was a good solid game. There's always things that you can fix. There's always things, coaches are never happy no matter what happens, and they're going to find some things to correct. And I really think in the long run the kind of blase second half really might be a blessing for the coaches, because if we'd have come out and done exactly the same thing in the second half, it would have been awfully difficult to go into that film session tomorrow and to go into practices next week for Fishers and try to convince kids that they're not perfect, when the second half performance is going to give them an opportunity to have some things, effort type things more than anything else, to coach up this week and just try to get the kids to flat out play as hard as they can on every play.
Brandon Peters, again, very impressive tonight, especially in that first half. And as Coach said, he almost we watch Andrew Luck, the Peyton Mannings of the world, take a look at a defense and say, okay, this is what I've got, this is what I've got. We really saw Brandon in that first half. Whatever Whiteland wanted to show him, he knew what he wanted to do with it.
Well, Brandon can do anything he wants to do. I mean, Brandon can throw, Brandon can run. I've mentioned a few times, Brandon has become a very complete quarterback. The things that I thought about him maybe when I coached him in 7th grade, he really has one of those kind of laid-back, flat type of personality, and I really think in the long run it's a blessing. He's one of those kids. He doesn't get too, he could throw. Last week he threw 6 touchdown passes, and I saw him in the cafeteria on Monday, and it was like, yeah, okay, fine. That's just his personality, and I think tonight it's very difficult in a game like this, but I think in those close games, his demeanor really sends a message in the huddle and really sends a message to the rest of the players that, he is the man. I mean, if you can block, if you will run hard, if you'll, get open on a route, he's going to find a way to get the ball there. And I guarantee you, had this game been a little bit closer in the second half, whether you want to do it or not, and I don't mean this to sound negative, but if this game were tighter, Brandon probably would have been sharper. Some of the balls he threw in the second half weren't bad balls, but I'm telling you, when a game's on the line, he's the kid you want under center.
So Avon now will head to Fishers next Friday. We'll have that game for you on Audio Sports Online. The pregame will be at 6:30. Kickoff between the Orioles and the Tigers is set for 7 o'clock. Our next game on Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com will come next week when Brownsburg travels to Westfield. That game is set for 7 o'clock. Westfield, again, a very, very good team this year. They were undefeated heading into play tonight. The Bulldogs will have all they can handle next week when they travel to play at what looks to be a fabulous new facility at Westfield. That'll be the first time the Bulldogs have ever stepped foot into that facility. For you Avon fans, you're going to have to wait till next year, but I can tell you it's a pretty nice-looking place. In Westfield, so far, they're playing very good football there. So that is going to do it for us here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Again, the Avon Orioles, they knock off Whiteland by the score of 34-0.
Running out of space.
Game night in Hendricks County on XRVRadio.com and Audio Sports Online has been brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Avon Dental Center, Changes Home Care, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Westside Plumbing, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Blue River Pharmacy, Northfield Storage, Ivy Tech, and the Payroll Department. Game night in Hendricks County is an AudioSportsOnline.com production.